football where I grew up, so I think they're pretty much everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1985 out of Africa.
There you go.
You haven't started, have
I was
you?
right.
Yes.
Yes, the first question was, when was Out of Africa filmed?
Okay.
We're talking about parakeets.
Right.
No, we haven't started.
No,
No,
sorry.
welcome
Joe,
everyone.
That's so silly.
What?
I'd say it was about 15 years ago anyway. When was it?
25 years ago.
Oh my God.
30
And the
35 years.
rest.
35 years ago. Sorry, bad maths there. 35 years ago.
Right, well, welcome
Stop it,
everyone.
right.
Welcome. It's just gone 5 o'clock. It's 5:05. It's not time for Crackerjack, however. It's the London Scottie Club Zoom. Welcome everyone. We do this once a week, every Sunday. And as agreed with everyone, 5 o'clock seems to work for everyone. So that's why we're doing 5 o'clock. So it's good to have a number of you on board. I'm going to introduce you all in a moment. Just for those who've just joined us and were wondering what on earth were we just talking about, we were talking about parakeets and saying that Matt, who's somewhere in a nice leafy part of town, he had some noisy squawking birds, which seemed somehow to have gone very quiet. Maybe they're very conscious of the fact that we've been talking about parakeets. And
They've flown off.
They've flown off, have they? Right. Well, good.
I'm not mad about them.
Otherwise, it would have been quite a nuisance to have on board. And we were just talking about how long have parakeets been in London, because, of course, they sort of exploded. Now there's fewer of them, it seems, than there used to be. But for about 10, 15, 20 years, they were everywhere and multiplying. And we believe that they may have escaped Shepperton Studios in the making of Out of Africa, which...
got it.
Yeah, which would sound about right, because as I mentioned to Matt, Fraser and Glyn earlier on, as a keen ornithologist, I used to always look out for different bird sounds and look up in the trees. And in Kew Gardens in 1984, I heard a parakeet for the first time in my life. And I thought, this is incredible and exotic. And of course, that was the year that they made Out of Africa. So it does chime. But that's not a trick question, and it's got nothing to do with the London Scottie.
Oh, I thought it was.
Welcome. There's a lady here who calls herself iPad. That's you, in deepest Northamptonshire.
That's me.
Yes, it says iPad. Are you ever going to update that? It always says iPad.
I don't know how to. Listen, George, it's
right.
different enough doing Zoom. Why am I not called Carol?
You probably, exactly, you're Carol to everybody else, but yeah. So Carol, I think when you go into your profile on Zoom, you just need to update the name or something. I'm sure there's an easy way of fixing this sort of thing. We're also joined by a new member who is in the M25 orbital area in North London. It's Barbara. Hello to you, Barbara. Can you hear us?
Hello,
yes,
Barbara.
I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Hey, everybody.
Lovely to have you on board. So Barbara is a very special person. She's going to tell us a bit more about why she's joining us a little bit later on. So we'll have a little teaser, okay? I think we're coming up to 10 past, not quite, 6 past. Gosh, we're going fast and furious here. So we give it a few more minutes for everyone to sort of gather in. I think we should.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put my sound up a bit.
Yeah. I'm just going to go. I think mine are up to mischief. I'm just going to go and check what they're doing.
Do what you need to do. A Scottie that's not in mischief. What's new?
Where's Hector?
Hi, Zelda. I can see you.
Hello, Zelda.
Hi, Zelda.
A small tip to all of you who are joining us. Fraser is probably the example not to follow. Can you see Fraser's screen? You can see there's a window in the background.
Yeah, you can't see him.
You can't see him exactly.
He's got to see the Scotties.
Not there.
Well, you can't see anything. He looks quite dark because basically he's got the natural light behind him. So unless he turns on the
Here he comes.
We can see the Scotties silhouette. I don't know. Maybe we can.
Very good.
You need a bit more light, mate. So basically, the tip is to get.
I'm an opera director. Always light from behind and the side.
Is to have the windows either side of you or in front of you or whatever, so that we get that you get more lighting. Now, Carol doesn't have this problem because she looks as though she's in a conservatory, so she's probably got light coming from every direction.
That's a polite way of putting it. A lean-to, yeah.
I could turn my light on. I don't know that it would make much difference. If I had my blinds at the side, it might make a bit more light.
Yeah, Zelda, we can't see you too well. That's a bit better, maybe.
Yeah, no, I just have to close the window. That's better.
I think you'll find my lighting is perfect now.
It,
Yes,
Water.
we can
It's good.
see you now, Fraser.
It's very
it
good.
is
Yeah,
actually,
we can
isn't
see you
it?
now. We can see you now.
Well, I don't want too much lighting. I mean, it's too horrific.
Now, Glyn, small question to you. You've got your
Yeah.
screen in the portrait mode. Are you able to tilt it sideways so we can see you in landscape? So we can,
Like that?
That's it.
That's better. That fills it out. We can see you better now.
Oh, okay.
You might want to tilt the camera so that we can see your face, because all we can see is your chin.
Oh, me?
Yes, Glyn.
Oh, okay. It's my
You understand?
phone.
That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
Right. Okay, that is important because we want to see you as big on the screen as possible, because we're doing a quiz today.
Yeah.
And in 1 minute's time we will start. I shall hand over the quiz master role to our quiz compiler, who this week is Matt. So welcome. Matt's been doing the homework. He's come up with some Scottie related questions. And you can all play. I think most of you know the rules, but Barbara, for your benefit, because you're new, let me just walk you through what happens. So we're going to put everybody on mute except for Matt. So none of us will be able to be heard among the rest of you. We'll all be on mute. Matt will ask the questions from 1 to 10. We've got 10 questions coming up. Is that right, Matt?
Yep,
Is that correct,
10
Matt?
questions.
Perfect. What happens then is, as soon as Matt has finished the question, you can answer the question. But in order to do so, you have to wave your hand in the screen so we can actually see your hand doing the waves. So
Okay.
give it a good old wave. And then me and Fraser will be in a sort of checking the screen to see who was the first to wave. And whoever's first to wave, we will then unmute their microphone.
Hello, Douglas.
Hello, Douglas. Oh,
Hello,
sweet.
Douglas.
Hello, sweetheart.
I just
Cheating,
love it.
Fraser. Douglas will get all the answers right now.
Yeah. Look at his big head.
Gorgeous.
So we wave, we unmute your microphone, and when we unmute your microphone, you can then say back the answer. If you get it right, you get a point. At the end, we'll tot it all up, and we'll see who's the winner. Now, it does look like 10 minutes into the event, and we've only got 40 minutes in total.
Douglas is gorgeous.
I will consider that the quiz is now open. If anyone joins us, they join us when they join us. But at the moment, it looks like we're here. So, Matt, I'm going to mute everyone, and then I'm going to unmute you. So bear with me, everyone.
He's cuddling.
Right, can you hear me now? Question number 1. Which poet and novelist wrote The Power of Dog inspired by their Scottish Terrier? George. George and then Carol.
Right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like I'm the only person who wasn't actually muted. I thought when I unmuted everyone, I thought that muted me as well, but probably because I'm hosting it, that I stay on. Zelda probably knows better than I do, but I learn as I go along. Was it Rudyard Kipling?
It was. Very good.
So good. I was so worried I got it wrong there. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do from here on is I'm not going to answer any of the questions. I'm not even going to wave. How's that? Okay.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good. So back to you, Matt, for question number 2. Good luck, everyone.
Question number 2. William Powell and Mary Astor appeared in which 1933 film in which a Scottie played the role of the detective's dog? I'll repeat the question. Zelda.
It's not right. Was it Dick Barton?
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
William Powell and Mary Astor appeared in which 1933 film in which a Scottie played the role of the detective's dog?
Can we phone a friend? Where's my phone?
Okay, the question's too difficult.
One
Shall
more
I give you the
time.
answer?
Give us to us one more time. No Googling, everyone, but go on. Give us to one more time, Matt.
Okay, I'll say it in a slightly different way. The 1933 film in which a Scottie played the role of the detective's dog and in which Mary Astor and William Powell were the leading man and woman was called what?
I think that parakeet knows the answer. I swear, he knows the answer. I know. Anyone? No?
Okay.
No, wait. I think you're going to have to give it to us. Can you give us a clue? Can you give us a clue? Are you allowed to give us a clue?
Well, obviously, I'd never heard of this film. Okay, the clues are the first word is where some
Sounds
dogs
like.
go to spend their holidays. The second word is a crime involving the killing of somebody. Carol?
1 second. I'm just going to unmute you, Carol. Bear with me.
You're live, Carol.
Sea murder? No.
Not quite.
Okay. Sea killing? No.
So the clues were, the first word sounds like a place that dogs go for their holiday.
It doesn't sound like it is.
A kennel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm going to put you back on mute. We've had too many O's from you, Carol. Right, who's going to wait? Oh, Glyn.
I think we should move on.
No, Glyn, I'm going to give this to Glyn.
Only a
Glyn.
wild guess. Kennel murder.
And then there's a final word.
Ah,
Story.
Often in detective stories and films.
Kennel
Murder
murder.
investigation.
Fraser?
no, I think
Clue.
Zelda was just ahead of Fraser.
Oh,
sorry, Bud.
sorry.
I'm going to
Yep,
give
go
this
for
to Zelda. I saw Zelda move just a little bit
Is
faster.
it can't be just mystery. Kennel murder mystery.
No.
Sorry.
Right, we're going to give it to Fraser. Hang on, Fraser. Unmute. Hang on. There you go. Off you go, mate.
Kennel murder case.
Hooray!
Fraser, well done. 1 point to you. 1 point to you. Okay. Right. I'm going to.
Okay, we're back onto easier ground for number 3.
Yeah, before you do that, I'm going to mute everyone because some things are a bit temperamental with Zoom. So I'm going to mute everyone and then unmute Matt, who's the quiz master. Bear with me. Okay, Matt, over to you.
Question number 3. What were the names of President George W. Bush's two...
I should know this.
Carol's waving.
All right, we're going to give it to Carol. 1 second, Carol. Let me just find you on here again. Over to you.
Oh God, I've watched their videos so often. It's Barney and Miss Beasley.
Very good. Very good, Carol.
Very good indeed.
And the full question was, what were the names of President George W. Bush's 2 Scotties who lived in the White House and featured in a 2005 White House Christmas video? Barney and Miss Beasley.
And in fact,
I hope everybody's seen those videos. If you haven't, get onto YouTube. They're wonderful.
They are wonderful. I've got to agree. And they made several videos, right? They made Easter ones, Christmas ones. There's a whole series of them. I mean, honestly, you know, W, you should have gone to Hollywood, mate. That would have been the right job for you. Right, we're going to put everyone back on mute. Bear with me.
Name of the Scottie friend.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I had to unmute you. I'd muted everyone. Can you just repeat that again, Matt?
Question number 4. What was the name of the Scottie friend of Fred Bassett of the eponymous cartoons? Fraser waving there?
I think he's going for it. Yeah, Fraser, are you going for it? Is that a yes? Just wave. Just wave. Remember, it's not finger, it's waving. Thank you. Right, bear with me. Okay. 1 second. Okay, Fraser, over to you.
This is just a wild guess from the back of my youthful brain. Was it Hamish? No.
Looks
No.
like it's a no. Okay, go back on mute.
Carol?
Carol knows it.
Is that a Carol going for it? Hang on.
Yeah,
Carol.
I think Carol's right as well.
Well, you can read her lips then. Hang on.
If I can lip read.
Which is more than we can say about George W. Bush. Read
Correct.
my lips.
Very good.
Is it
Very
Jock?
good. It's Jock.
Jock. Right, thank you, Carol. So that's 2 to Carol. Fraser gets 1 point so far. I started off with 1 point. Okay, so everyone back on the mute. Bear with me, please. Matt, you're live. Question number 5. Oh, hang on.
You muted everybody.
Hang on. I think I might have unmuted the wrong person. Hang on.
Okay.
There you go.
Question number 5. The BBC has an online programme called Own It that aims to demystify the internet and online life. It has 2 Scotties in it. What are their names?
Those carrot cakes, they know the answer.
Might have been a sparrowhawk over then.
Do you want to repeat that question, Matt?
Yeah, the BBC has an online programme at the moment called Own It. It aims to demystify the internet and online life. It has 2 Scotties on it. What are their names?
Can you give us a clue? I think we're struggling. Sounds like.
So they're both boy dogs. One of them is the name of a royal prince, and the other one is the name of a famous or once famous TV chef.
Oh, hang on. I think Fraser's going for it. Hang on. Fraser, over to you.
It's Ainsley and Will. Remember?
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I've got some of my girls at school use it. So yes.
Oh, I'm so impressed. I'd never heard
Ainsley
of
and Will.
Ainsley
Yes.
and Will. Yeah. I knew
Very
there were
good,
dogs, but I
Fraser.
didn't realise there were Scotties. Now I'll have to go and investigate. Yes.
Indeed.
Very, very good.
We love a quiz that educates. Right. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to put everyone back onto mute as before. Okay, Matt, over to you.
Okay, the next question is a bit easier, everybody. So hands at the ready. Scotties were originally named after which British Isles city? I think that was Fraser.
There was Fraser. I think he knows this one because it's lovely. I think I've got a feeling that's the story. Hang on. All right, Fraser, over to you.
Aberdeen.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unlucky, Glyn, you were very, very close second there.
Here's the interest. Oh,
Go on, Fraser.
last time, my mum lives quite close to Aberdeen. When I take Douglas there, the amount of time people say to me, "What kind of dog is that?"
In Aberdeen.
Aberdeen. Is that a Westie?
Maybe they were all international oil workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. Yeah, the helicopter should have dropped them in Wick and dropped them in Aberdeen by accident. Well, whatever it is, fabulous little anecdote. We're going to put you back on mute. We're already more than halfway through the questions now. We're coming up to question number 7, so bear with me.
Okay.
Matt,
Question number 7. Last year's Terrier representative in the Best in Show final at Crufts was a Scottie. What country was she from?
Okay, that's
Glenn.
Or should I say Douglas, technically, but okay. One moment, Glyn. Let's just find you. There you are. Yes,
Russia.
Russia.
Correct.
Thank
Glyn.
you.
Well done, Glyn. You've got a point there. That's nice. Good stuff. Putting you back on mute for question number 8. Back to Matt.
Okay, question number 8. The last Scottie to win Crufts Best in Show won in 2015. What country was she from? George was fastest there.
I do know the answer, and I don't want to be saying anything, so I'm going to give it to Zelda.
Okay, I think Zelda was next fastest.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's why I'm going to give it to Zelda. One moment, Zelda. Right, over to. Hang on, why is it not working? Doesn't want to. Okay, it doesn't want to unmute you for some reason.
Unmute myself.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So
Right.
it's America, right? Because Big
Correct.
Brother is his son, and that was last year, or a relative. America.
Correct.
It's
USA.
controversial that actually, because Knopper, who won in 2015, it was born in the US, but was actually raised just outside Moscow. In fact, we know the dog breeder very well. There are 2. There's Svetlana, and then the main lady whose name, embarrassingly for me, has just dropped out of my head. But we got to know the trainer, and we've even done some interviews with them and stuff. So they're good friends of London Scottie Club. But technically, the lady who was walking the dog on the day, she's
Don't say too much in case you give away an answer to another question.
There could be more. All right, in that case, I leave it right there. Okay, in that case, mute. Okay. Question number 1, 2, 3. What is it? Number 9, is it?
Is that Maggie?
Might be.
Question number 9.
Hang on. 1 second. Matt, over to you.
Okay, question number 9. I'm sorry, George, for interrupting you, but I was worried you might be going to the next question.
Right.
How did the 2015 Scottie winner's handler cause controversy?
I know the answer to that one. I'm not going to answer it. Was that Fraser or Carol? I think it was Fraser, wasn't it?
It was Fraser. Fraser just ahead of Carol there.
Sorry, Carol. I know you're gutted. But you might still get to steal the point. You never know. Depends whether Fraser's all that he's cracked up to be and all that. Here we are. Where are you going? No time for Google.
I'm going to demonstrate.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She picked her up with a tail. I was going to do it with Douglas, but I thought I don't think he'd like that. Tail and head. Was it?
Tail gets you half an answer.
And tail and
Half
ears,
a
wasn't it? Tail and collar. Was that? I don't know.
No.
Oh.
Let's just hand it to Carol to see if she can nail this.
Can she steal, or we give a point each to both of them? Okay, bear with me, Carol.
The
Go on.
tail and the scruff of the neck or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the tail and neck.
Right. I think it's a point each, don't you think?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think we'll create an extra point there, and that's how we're going to do it. So, Carol and
Okay.
Now, before we go on to the final question, as is the tradition of quiz shows, we like to keep people up to date on where we're going. What are the stakes with these points? So we've got one final solitary question coming up. Is that right, Matt?
It is, and there are 2 people who can win.
Right.
So we have. So Zelda has 1 point. George has 1 point. Glyn has 1 point. Carol has 3. And Fraser has 4.
So that sounds to me like it could be a draw.
It could be a draw. That's okay. We can. The prize can cater for a draw if necessary.
Ooh, it's a prize.
There's a prize. In that case, what is the prize? I didn't think there was one. We should have said that.
Well, I thought I'd add a little surprise.
Okay, well, you can surprise us at the end then.
Okay.
You never know, it might be something everybody's got, in which case there'll be a lot of silence and nobody will want to answer the question. Nobody will want to win, right? Well, we've got a win already because Fraser's got 4 points. And as you say, Carol's got 3 points. So there's actually quite a lot to fight for. I'm going to put you all on mute, as is the tradition. Bear with me. And Matt, for the final
question number
over to
10.
you.
Which drinks company owns black and white whiskey which features a Scottie on its label?
I saw Zelda wave, but now she's praying that she's got the right name. I've got a feeling that Fraser, however, is a little bit more certain of the answer. No, he's holding back. It was a bit. Was it nerves? It was a twitch of the hand. Was it? Okay, it wasn't really a wave. Is that a yes? You want to answer?
It is a wave.
It is a wave. Okay, bear with me. Right, Fraser, hang on. Over to you.
I'm going for Diageo.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
It's Diageo.
Well, they own everything anyway now, don't they?
They own all the horrible whiskies. the cheap crap.
I say we have an outright winner. So
Yeah,
in ascending order, we've got me with 1 point, which I'm happy with. Glyn, 1 point. We've also got Zelda there, I think, with 1 point. We've got Carol with 3 points, but a hands-out winner today with 5 points. It's Fraser. Congratulations.
Very good, Fraser. Well done.
Yeah, it's just as well because I was going to say Diageo, and then that would have been a tie.
No, I'd have still won.
No, Fraser would have still won.
Oh, would he? Oh, right.
He was 4-3 up going into the final
No,
round.
I see. But if I'd said Diageo at the first, I would have got it, and then they would have been 3 each, wouldn't they?
No, I had 4.
No, it was
Fraser was on
Carol
4.
still in the
Why
lead.
did 4? It would have been Carol. Sorry.
It was a chance to match, or otherwise it would have been a winner, even if nobody had answered the last question. So, yeah. You couldn't have spoilt it. Sorry, Zelda, you could not have spoilt it. I'm going to unmute it for everybody. Right, so hopefully now we can all hear each other, which is lovely. Matt, over to you, prize winner.
Yes, so the prize, so this is going to be interesting. We may have to double up the prize. The prize was going to be a personalised Scottie named mug, but I'm not going to ask you to choose between Maggie and Douglas. So would you like one each?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will arrange that with you separately on WhatsApp, so I can get your contact details, and then you can show everybody at a future Zoom.
One can be copy, one win there, Fraser.
Sorry.
One
Yes.
second.
Right. Well, congratulations. We've got a few minutes left, and oh, sorry. Looks like Zelda wants to say something. Go ahead.
Hello, I just wanted to say hello, Barbara. Who's Barbara?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm coming over to. Yeah, you took the words out of my, you took the thunder out of my wings there. So, okay, let me introduce Barbara, who's been politely taking part in this quiz, and thank you for joining us today on the Scottie Club quiz. So, first of all, Barbara lives not far from London. She's in Hatfield, which is North London. And she is a professional dog groomer. In fact, she has a Scottie. You've got one right there.
My place.
Introduce us to Sunny. Barbara, can you hear us?
Sorry, you're up in a job.
Right. It looks like your audio is bouncing a little bit, but we can see you very well.
She's going to give us a demo.
Yeah, she's got bad reception, bad internet coverage.
I think it's the internet, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, those parakeets don't.
I'm surprised now.
As you can imagine, George, we're really popular with the neighbours for feeding the birds.
Oh, I bet you are, yeah.
I can see that. So, Barbara, hopefully it'll be all right on the night. You're going to join us next Sunday, and technology permitting, you will give us a demonstration of how to do hand stripping of Scottish Terriers. Is that right?
Oh, wow.
Hopefully, can't hear us, maybe? Can you hear us? Why don't I put everybody on mute for a second? Bear with me. I'm going to put everyone on mute, and then I'm going to unmute. Barbara. So, Barbara, can you hear us okay?
That's better, yeah. I couldn't, you was all breaking up before, so I couldn't hear properly.
Right.
Didn't hear what you said.
It's lovely to have you on board. I think when everybody's together and everyone's unmuted, I think that's where the problem is. I think it causes a few points of confusion for Zoom. But we can now hear you loud and clear. So in your own words, do you want to just introduce yourself? You've just joined the club. You'll have to fill out the form and everything, but we'll deal with that in due course. You've got us.
Oh, right, okay.
So tell us about Sonny first of all, and then tell us about how you got into hand stripping of Scottish Terriers.
Well, I've had Scotties all my life since I was 6 months old. Sonny is the son of my Brio Quizzical. I don't know if you hear of the Brio dogs, that was bred by Jane Miller. She kindly at one point gave me 2 dogs, which was Brio Inquisitive and Brio Quizzical, which my Brio Inquisitive became a champion. I've also been brought up with, I don't know if anybody knows of Silverlands, which is at Wheathampstead, the Gaywin dogs. Muriel Owen. So, I mean, I've always had a lot of their dogs as well. So my mentors have been Catherine Owen, Jane Miller, Dan Erickson. They've all taught me how to do hand stripping. And also for a while, the person who mainly got me into showing was Betty Pemball, because I had a dog that was by her last boy, and she said I should do some showing. So I've been showing for the last about 18 years now, I suppose, really. So of course, to keep on top of your dogs, you've got to learn how to do your hand stripping. And in their eyes, I was a novice for about 12 years, because you know, before their approval, they feel that you're ready. So I've had some very good mentors, and along the way. So I do still show. Obviously, I show Sonny when they come back up. So and I just like to, if anybody needs help, I will help anybody as much as I can, because that I've been helped along the way. So, and I enjoy my showing. So anybody needs any help, I'll always help.
Fantastic. Barbara, you are very important to us, because I know you do hand stripping of my dogs as well, and you offer a very unique service in that you're able to offer a mobile service. So you can come to the dogs as opposed to somebody bringing the dogs to you. Obviously, COVID-19 has affected things a bit, but
I always say that people don't understand why it's better for the dogs to be hand stripped rather than be clipped, you know, because it does spoil their coats. But I mean, it's everybody's own preference, really, you know, and it doesn't hurt the dogs to be hand stripped. People keep thinking it does, but you're only taking out dead hair after all at the end of the day. So
well, what they would have done in the Highlands is probably brushed against the bark of a tree to try and remove the dead hair if they were left to their own devices. So absolutely. And of course, you can help to shape the dog's hair and the appearance, so they keep their Scottie credentials. So all of this and more next week. Barbara is going to show us a demonstration. So here's in the last couple of minutes that we've got of this today's program, just to go through what's going to happen on Zoom next Sunday at 5 p.m. Barbara will join us, and she will have a demonstration table that she's going to use, I presume, Sonny, to show us how it's done. She'll do about 5 minutes of hand stripping, hopefully with the camera as close as possible to the view of her tablet, so that we can get a good grasp of what is going on. She'll demonstrate that for a few minutes. She'll also talk about her background, and I know that she's very accomplished in what she does. I mean, I'm very happy with her work for our dogs, but also she's got quite a few Rosettas, if I remember rightly, what I saw of her home a few years ago when I first visited. So all this and more, and then at the very end, Barbara, you'll take questions and answers, so there'll be plenty of time for any one of you to ask your questions about the process, about is it safe, is it at what stage in their life can you introduce them to hand stripping, all that kind of thing. If you want to know anything at all about it, she is happy to answer your questions. So on that note, and with just about 2 minutes left, I suggest to unmute you for our farewell and to say join us absolutely next Sunday at 5 p.m. on Zoom.
Thank you very much, George, for the comparing.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you,
Thanks
Matt,
for the questions, Matt.
Yeah, really good, Matt. Awesome.
Hard. A-level.
Congratulations to Fraser for winning.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Fraser.
Yeah, well,
Douglas helped me.
Yeah, Douglas helped
He
you.
whispered in my ear all the answers.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Yeah, Fraser, you're not a mug, but you're going to get a mug from Matt, so that's great.
You're going to get 2 mugs.
Yeah.
2 mugs.
Coffee and tea. Yes.
It's like, what was it? Is it 2
Whiskey and
jugs?
water.
That's 2 mugs.
Excellent.
Really good.
Okay,
Nice
thank you.
to meet you,
Welcome,
Barbara.
Barbara. We'll
Thank
add you
you.
to our WhatsApp group as well.
Oh, it's yeah.
Super.
I'm too terrified to show you
Thanks
one of
to
my
see you all.
Scotties with his
Don't-
floppy ears.
Anybody needs anything, and give me a ring.
Okay.
Absolutely.
No.
I
Alright.
just spent a terrifying afternoon hand clipping Archie for the first
Oh
time
my
ever.
God.
It took 3 hours and I was like at the end of it. So
Yeah.
I'm very embarrassed to be sitting with someone who knows how to hand strip properly.
No.
Is Archie with you now?
Yeah, I showed you.
Yeah,
I
I
think
saw it.
his top half looks okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
completely backed up the top of his back leg.
Everybody's own preference. It's your own preference, really. I mean, if you know, hand strip is better.
Yeah. I'm as terrified I look like Joe Exotic if I do mine.
Oh,
Mine.
Edith and